Hi and welcome back to another video. Today we are planning for the new month of May, and just like in my previous setup, I'm going to be keeping things very simple and clean, and you can either follow along or use the setup as a base to build upon with colors or more decorations. I've loved using the cover pages as a place to set the tone for the new month, so I like to choose at least one lesson to carry throughout the month. So I drew lotus flowers because they tie perfectly into the quote for this month, which is that every morning we are born again and what we do today is what matters most. Something cool about the lotus flowers is that they have to grow through all the dirt, but eventually they emerge from the water clean and beautiful. And if that's not the perfect metaphor to life and how we can rise above our circumstances, I don't know what is. The flowers also close up at night and bloom every morning, which is just another reminder that we can take every single day as a chance to do better or to at least try again. I didn't want to add any color to this because I wanted to keep it simple, but I think that would look amazing as well. Before we do continue with the setup, I want to give a huge shout out to Skillshare for their continuous support of my channel. Chances are you've heard me and others rave about Skillshare before, and it's for a good reason because they're an amazing online learning platform with thousands of classes in a large variety of subjects. I have used their platform to learn everything from drawing, animation, to even editing my videos, and as someone who is completely self-taught in all these subjects, their platform has been a huge resource. I even learned how to play the ukulele through their classes, so honestly, whatever you want to learn, I'm sure there are plenty of classes that you can take advantage of. I will have a link in the description that will give you a 2-month free trial, and you can take as many classes as you want, but it's limited to the first 500 people, so don't forget to check it out. Alright, so back to our setup and to our monthly spread. You might remember that last month I made this calendar on 2 pages, but honestly I ended up not needing that much space because I really only keep track of important events in here. So I am going back to the 1-page layout, and a lot of times I don't even write anything in this calendar, but instead I just draw small icons that symbolize whatever it is that I need. So that's why this works so well for me, even though there's not a lot of space. Right next to it, I am doing my master to-do list, and you can probably tell I keep coming back to this monthly layout. I've tried to make other variations of it, but in the end, this is just what works. And I also like having my monthly to-do list next to my calendar. Moving on to the habit tracker, and once again I'm going to be referencing last month's layout because I feel like that's the one that gives me the best overview of each individual habit. I also limit this tracker to only 6 habits because the fewer I have, the more I can focus on them. If there's too many, I feel like they're not as important and I'm just less likely to follow through with each of them. I got a lot of questions about all the stamps that I used, and this one in particular. I got this set of calendar stamps from Amazon, and it's awesome because it really cuts down on how much time I spend on these layouts where you have a lot of small calendars. But anyways, I will have links to everything that I used in the description. On the next page, I wanted to do a health tracker, and if you remember, last month I did this big calendar where I tracked my meals and workouts, and I did skip a few days because I just couldn't be bothered, but I did realize midway through that this didn't really tell me anything at a glance. Like, okay, I kept track of my meals and stuff, which in the past has helped me be more conscious of my choices because I knew I had to write everything down, but I really like it when I open up the spread and I have all that data represented somehow at a glance. So long story short, I made a small calendar where I'm just going to use small icons that will symbolize whether or not I did those habits like eating healthy, working out, water intake, and whatever else I will need. So this way all that information is going to be more visible, and I will show you how it turns out at the end of the month. Alright, the next spread is going to be something I haven't done in a very long time, which is a 1 line a day type of spread. And just like the title suggests, it is where you write 1 line about what happened each day. As much as I'd like to be able to journal on a daily basis, it's just not something that I can sustain, but I still want to have at least a very small record of each day, which is where this spread comes in handy because it is very easy to keep up with. I am so excited that I finally found an expense layout that is sustainable, which is the one that I did last month, where I had made this graph that represents the expenses for different categories like rent, food, and so on. I have yet to fill out the rest of this, but it worked great because of how low maintenance it is. You only have to fill it in at the end of the month, and it shows so much information at a glance. So how this works is I pretty much just go through my bank statement once the month is over, and I can add everything up by category and then fill in this graph. Alright, so finally I'm doing the title for what is going to be my daily logs. So it's going to be empty for now because I set those up at the beginning of each day. So with that, we are ready to take a look at how this whole setup turned out. I think at this point it's safe to say that I have embraced the fact that this journal is very minimal and monochromatic. It's not necessarily what my intention was when I started it, but the important thing is that it is practical and sustainable. It also takes a lot of that creative fatigue away when you can make something simple work and you don't have to stress about coming up with different designs or decorations for every single spread. But as always, I encourage you to do whatever it is that keeps you motivated to use your journal, whether that is through lots of decoration or none at all. Anyways, don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you end up recreating any of these spreads. I would love to see them. And also don't forget to check out the Skillshare link that will be in the description. I hope you have an awesome month ahead, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys! Dancing to our own drum, and if there really